The world's richest man, Elon Musk, has struck a deal with American microblogging platform Twitter, and the Tesla CEO has bought Twitter for a staggering $44 billion in an all-cash deal. The sale comes as a dramatic shift for the board, which had originally maneuvered to block Musk from taking the social media network private. Until last week, the deal appeared to be uncertain, but discussions accelerated over the weekend after Musk wooed Twitter shareholders with financing details of his offer. Under pressure, Twitter started negotiating with Musk to buy the company at his proposed $54.2 per share price. Twitter shares rose 5.7% on Monday to close at $51.7. The Twitter transaction has been approved by the company's board as of now. It is now subject to a shareholder vote. Analysts are not expecting any major regulatory hurdles in the same, but the 16-year-old company has emerged as one of the world's most influential public squares or platforms. It is populated by millions of users and global leaders. Assuming the deal closes and Musk takes ownership of Twitter, the company will then be controlled by the world's richest person. That's something to think about. Twitter said that it will become a privately held company after the sale is closed. Musk is the chief executive of both the electric car maker Tesla and aerospace company SpaceX. Musk's 84 million strong Twitter following is seen as an important free public relations and marketing tool for Tesla. Musk bought a 9% stake in Twitter earlier in April, and he then offered to buy the entire company outright. According to Forbes, Musk is worth some $268 billion. But he has said that he is not primarily concerned with the economics of Twitter. The Tesla CEO wanted to buy Twitter because he thought it's not living up currently to its potential as a market or a platform for free speech. After the announcement of the deal, Musk tweeted that even his worst critics must remain on Twitter because that is what free speech means. In a statement released by Twitter, Musk said that free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. After the deal materializes, some user-friendly tweaks can be expected, such as an edit button and defeating spam bots. Now, these send overwhelming amounts of unwanted tweets to all of us. Speaking to a town hall meeting, the Twitter chief executive Parag Agrawal told employees that the future of the social media firm is uncertain after the deal closes. Meanwhile, the White House declined to comment on Musk's deal, but said that President Joe Biden has long been concerned about the power of social media platforms.
I can tell you as a general matter, no matter who owns or runs Twitter, the president has long been concerned about the power of large social media platforms, the power they have over our everyday lives, has long argued that tech platforms must be held accountable for the harms they cause. He has been a strong supporter of fundamental reforms to achieve that goal, including reforms to Section 230, enacting antitrust reforms, requiring more transparency, and more. And he's encouraged that there's bipartisan interest in Congress. In terms of what hypothetical policies might happen, I'm just not going to speak to that.
Meanwhile, former U.S. President Donald Trump, who was banned from the platform after the Capitol siege in January last year, said that he will not return to Twitter. Trump's company is now building a rival to Twitter called Social Truth. And for more on this big deal, WION's correspondent Susan Tehrani from New York has more details. Take a look.
Elon Musk buying Twitter is one of the biggest headlines in recent history. Some are saying that perhaps it's one of the biggest headlines since Donald Trump became president back in 2016. It has definitely generated a lot of conversation on both sides of the aisle. Interestingly, on Twitter itself. Now, what we do know is that Elon Musk himself has spoken openly about how he has plans to make the platform a haven for unfettered speech. He also complained that perhaps the service has been too heavy-handed in quote-unquote moderating free speech. He also said, and he also tweeted hours before, that he hoped that even his worst critics would stay on Twitter when he does take over Twitter. What we don't know is how involved he would really be in day-to-day operations of running Twitter, despite the fact that he does have other responsibilities. But he also floated the idea of turning the company's headquarters into a homeless shelter, and also removing ads for paid users and adding the platform's authentication checks as well for real humans and removing bots. All of these perhaps may be easier said than done, but what's very interesting is one side of the aisle is very excited and perhaps the other side is very concerned. A lot of strong opinions about Elon Musk's decision and the future of Twitter. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.